Hey, gang. Yeah, me too. So, if you're wondering how to fix this, I have been seeing a ton of fixes, way too many fixes, both on the YouTubes, the comments, the chats, all of that. I was going to give you the real answer here, and you might not like it. So the first thing you might have seen, and this is a good practice to get in at any point, is to go into your Start Citizen folder, go to Live, and then down here you'll see this folder that says User. If you just delete that entire thing, you should generally do that at the start of every patch, especially if you're seeing weirdness. You'll also see people delete the shaders folder, and that's kind of a good practice to get into too. But chances are you've probably done that. And people will say, come over here to the launcher, hold down Shift, Control, Alt, and R, and that'll reset your launcher. It's never a bad idea either. And then you can log in here. So go ahead and do that and click remember, even though it won't, and let it sign you in. Another thing they'll say is to click verify. So those are all kind of the fixes out there. And so the reality is with at least with the 19,000 or 190,000 error, is this. So big shocker, somebody posted up in Spectrum, and if you're curious, yeah, there was a few of these. And so right up here, Bearded CIG, who's one of the community manager devs, came back and said, I'm sorry for the frustration this is causing over the last few days. I've seen streamers and social media posts of people worried that we might not be aware of what's going on because it's the weekend. I have graphs that show me how often people are running into each of these errors versus how often they are able to log in. So I wanted to assure you that we see every disconnection that you've run into. We've been working on addressing the issues, and I'll go ahead and I'll skip ahead here. If you're experiencing 19,004 errors and are wondering if there's anything you can do, a good majority of these are going to be on our CIG's end. So that right there is the actual answer. So what you are seeing with people saying, hey, I tried this, I deleted this folder, sacrificed a goat, all of that. So what you're seeing from those other streamers, other commenters, is what's called anecdotal information. And so what they are doing is, let's say that I walk outside and I have like a chip in my hand or something. I throw it up in the air and a crow grabs it. And then I come back on and say, hey, I threw a chip up in the air and a crow grabbed it. Now, that doesn't mean that every time I throw a chip up in the air and a crow is going to grab it. It doesn't mean that'll work for you. It just means that there was a confluence of events that happened that caused that event to happen. And that's what's happening with people, is it's really just luck of the draw. So if you want to know what's going to fix this, and like I said, you're probably not going to like this answer, it's time. We just need CIG to figure out what the various login issues are, and 90% of them are going to be just server load. So as we roll into next week, populations are going to decrease. People are going to be able to log in. Usually, if this is your first big number patch, things like this aren't too uncommon. They're usually not this bad, but they can usually be pretty bad. This one, just because of the introduction of PES, is going to be worse than usual, and it might take them longer than usual to fix it. Now, was releasing things on a Friday a good idea? No, that was dumb. I think that they kind of felt the pressure from the community to get this thing out the door, and they did. Releasing it on Monday when the population would have been a little bit lower just because people would have been at work might have run out a little bit smoother, but we still would have had huge problems. Usually my suggestion to new players jumping on to play the new patch is wait until the 0.1 patch. So wait until 3.18.1, because that's usually when they nail down all the little login issues and little nagging things like elevators not opening and stuff like that. But for the people that just really, really, really wanted to jump on, well, this is kind of how it goes. At a certain point, CIG has to push that little bird out of the nest and see if it can fly. And in this case, it plummeted straight to the ground, flopped around the ground, is just kind of on the struggle bus down there. And all the little CIGs are standing around that little bird trying to get its little wings to move. And it's going to take a couple days. So, gang, we'll get there. It'll be a while. If you roll the dice and you happen to get in, good luck. I'm going to keep pushing the button to see if I can get in. I have a few things I want to record. From what I've heard from a couple friends that have actually got into the build, it's not exactly all roses and cupcakes in there. There are elevators that aren't spawning. There are trams that aren't spawning. People can't get out of their bed. There's really bad desync and rubber banding issues. So I'd say maybe give it a week. Like, let other people who are actually able to get in kind of take the brunt of all these errors, and give it like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then jump in, and your experience will be a lot happier and smoother and stable than what people are experiencing right now. That's my 2 cents. All right, gang, that's all I got for now. So catch you next time.